Sports are a tribal community. You love your team, the players who make it up, and you hope desperately for their success. But at the same time, you despise anybody who tries to get in the way of that, whether on the outside or inside. Many players over the years have earned less than favorable reputations, whether through dirty playing styles, cheating allegations, or behavior on and off the field. Today I aim to take you through some of the most hated players in league history, and the wild ways they earned their reputation. I mean, who else? One of the main reasons a player might become hated is just plain tribalism and a bitter jealousy of anyone achieving great success, especially if it's a rival. And who has more rivals and is more successful than Tom Brady? But it goes deeper than that. Many like to call him a cheater, pointing to things like Deflategate, where Brady and the Patriots reportedly deflated their footballs to gain an advantage, even though that's kind of dumb. And him often being bailed out by the refs, implying that he may pay them off. He also kissed his son, I guess? And all this is combined with the voice of a man who consumes a respectable amount of soy. He also, up until recently, had a strong friendship with wide receiver Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown is one of the most controversial players in NFL history, but for a much different reason. I mean, make no mistake, at his peak, Brown was one of the best receivers to ever play, but he earned his title from antics on and off the field. It all started in 2018 when he left the Steelers, where he spent the first 8 years of his career, mainly due to him being upset after becoming the second option at receiver behind fresh-faced Juju Smith-Schuster, who would go on to himself have a controversial career. After demanding a trade, he was sent off to the Raiders, but he failed to show up to training camp after getting frostbite in his feet. He also threatened to retire after the helmet he wore his entire career was deemed unsafe for wear. He was then booted off the Raiders as well. He played one game before being released due to some concerning things. He'd then go on to join the Buccaneers and went on to win himself a Super Bowl, before getting himself into yet another incident when, unprompted, he took his uniform off and ran off the field while signaling to the crowd, causing him to again be cut. He hasn't joined an NFL team since, but his antics did not stop there, as he began to do many shenanigans, such as photoshopping himself with Tom Brady's ex-wife just as they were going through a divorce, causing them to no longer be friends. His erratic behavior is often theorized to be caused by an incident in a 2017 playoff game, where he took a brutal and unnecessary hit from Bengals linebacker Vontaze Burfict. Vontaze Burfict can only be described as one of the dirtiest players in NFL history, known for dealing out gross hits and receiving fines. It doesn't help that he played linebacker, the football equivalent of throwing a wee mud at your TV. Even in college, he was dishing out heat with the Sun Devils. He'd start fights in the locker room, and unnecessary roughness was his middle name, causing him to be benched later down his college career. And after a subpar performance at the Combine, he didn't hear his name at the draft, but received a call from the Bengals as an undrafted free agent. And during his rookie season, he actually played relatively clean, but that wouldn't last long as the fines began to rack up, culminating in the aforementioned playoff game where this hit cost the Bengals the game. Not too long after, he was also shipped off to the Raiders, where he again got into trouble after a head-to-head collision with tight end Jack Doyle, causing him to be suspended for the rest of the season. He hasn't played in the league since, but has stated he intends to continue playing, though I'm not sure anyone wants him on their team. I don't have like a cool transition for this one. We're just gonna talk about Terrell Owens now. Sports are very emotional. When you lose, you get irritable, and nothing's more irritating than a gloaty celebration to rub it in. Enter Terrell Owens, T.O., a pioneer of touchdown celebrations. My personal favorite came when, after scoring a touchdown, he grabbed a pen from his sock and signed the football before handing it to a fan. Other celebrations included grabbing a bucket of popcorn and dumping it in his helmet, and grabbing pom-poms from a cheerleader before celebrating with them. But his most disrespectful celebration occurred in a game against the Dallas Cowboys, famous rivals of his team at the time, the 49ers, where he ran over to the sacred center field logo and celebrated there. Twice. And on the second occasion, he got walloped, which he was kinda asking for, so fair enough. This one journalist in 2011 stated that he had the maturity of a 12-year-old boy, and that he's not a team player, which I think encapsulates why this man is hated better than any fancy script writing I could do here. And there you have it, some of the most hated players in NFL history. And what have we learned? Fuck all. See you next time.